Hey everyone, it's Tones, Flemo and Puppies here, and we're about to check out a whole process of eucalyptus, aren't we, Tones?
That we are, yes. Looking forward to it, and that's thanks to the Australian Horizon Foundations, and Let's Get Rural.
Let's go check it out.
Yeah, bloody oath. Let's go. What you got there?
I have some eucalyptus. They're leaves.
Yeah, it just smells like dirty old gum tree, to be honest.
Well, have you got a better alternative?
Well, apparently that turns into this. So we've got some blue Eucy from blue eucalyptus. Oh, geez, that's a mouthful, isn't it? But you go from that, and that's straight on that. That's fantastic. You wouldn't say potent, would you? Or it's
You could use the word potent.
it's very strong though, isn't it?
It is, and as you apply it, it's longevity. It's what goes for it, but it just smoothens out and it just stays there. And all that. So I had a friend of mine. She actually designs perfumes.
Yep.
Gave that to her, and her question was, "What the hell are you doing?" Because I've not smelled anything like this before.
Yeah.
And as she tested it out, so she's never had actually anything that's lasted this long. Yeah, for the scent.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It is, yeah. I mean, oh yeah. It just clears out the sinuses nicely.
Yeah, it does it.
Amazing. I just put some back on a leaf and it's brought it back brand new.
Well, you know, we are all for regenerative farming here, so
Yeah.
and whatever we don't sell, we just rub back on the leaves.
Oh, it just clears out the sinuses. Oh, love it. Absolutely love it. So we've got Richard and Jacob here that are the owner of the farm, and it's quite an interesting story how you became a eucalyptus farmer, because you didn't actually plan on it at all, did you?
No, not at all. No,
Yeah.
the property was originally purchased as just a getaway. I used to camp a lot in my late teens, early 20s, and life gets busy, and you just kind of forget what you really enjoy. And then decided, it's time to buy the bullet and get something. I'd always wanted a bush block.
Yeah.
And so a few things needed to hit the key.
Yeah.
Wanted to back on some of the conservation on the state forestry, and everything just happened here. So yes, so we looked at it, made the offer. From the day we made the offer, moved in with the keys in 5 weeks. To see this estate when I purchased it, I had to figure out a lot. Now my background is here, a bit of engineering and design work, so this is a huge playground for me to just have a real play and go, okay, what's going on with irrigation, what's going on with the housing, what's going on over here, and go, I'm in my element, what do I do first?
Yep.
Notice that one of the sections had just, it looked like a plantation of trees, and as you looked at it on Google Maps, it showed areas at times being cleared out, and it was just more dirt, trying to figure out what was going on. I was chatting with some of the farmers around here, and they said, yeah, the guy here, he had an area set out that was for eucalyptus plantation that he'd get harvested regularly and it'd get sold on to some of the other local companies around, and they'd buy it off from all the various lands. Great, can you put me in touch with someone that can harvest it? Sure, we know a guy. 3-4 weeks later, no phone calls. I'm now asking in town, hey, listen, this is what I've got, what's going on? We know a guy. And I slowly figured out what country life is really like. Everyone knows a guy, but no guy ever calls out. Curious background of what I like to do, and it's can't be too hard to figure out. So I started looking into it, how to do it. Fortunately, I'd watched some videos of people that had, they did like more of a high-end boutique distilling, as opposed to what was done in the normal distilleries like you do with some of the other bigger mobs that are around here. And they were using pot distillers and only using leaf and all of these very high-end criteria.
Yep.
And that's how it ended up being. We ended up landing on building an absolutely high-end product, almost by accident, because nobody else wanted to come help us out to go do it.
Yeah, right.
I've always had business in the past, and I figured, well, this is a great way to do it. So the idea was, let's build a business. We don't rely on that as our initial source of income. I'm a builder by trade, so we've got works that we do in Melbourne. Yep. But now I can build this as, on our terms, a high quality product that's fun to make, that people can appreciate. And that's literally how the whole thing just happened. A friend of mine, he specialises in business branding and marketing. I've got a project for you. He was awesome, so he did the whole packaging, designs, everything. We've now trademark logos and we're doing this thing properly.
Yeah.
And now this is the stage that we're at, and just having fun with it.
Yeah. This is where all the magic happens in here. Can you run us through the process of picked?
Jake.
Here we are.
Yeah, it's in mood, yeah, mate.
Yeah, for the very first step. So about a couple of 100 meters away, this is where we'll chop down the trees and we'll get the leaves and the branches. Then they'll come over to this section, so we'll chop them down to smaller branches about that size, so it's just a bit easier to pick and maneuver through. And the leaves get stripped off hand by hand.
Yeah.
Strip by
Show us how you do it.
Literally grab it by the stalk.
Yep.
It's just a nice strip back. Pile up as much as you can here, and then you just push it down into the distiller, where the distiller will catch it.
So the distiller's up there at the moment, it's just behind you.
So you learned all that complicated stuff from YouTube, did you?
That was really it. But like the funny one was, we had one lady in a market recently, and she goes, "Oh, I actually can't deal with the tannins that come from the eucalyptus oil." I've gone, okay, so well that would be coming from the branches and the stems and those things, which we actually remove, but there's no stalks. Oh, you might get a little bit of like a small amount here and there, but yeah, it's like 99% purely leaf. Yeah. And when she tried a bit, she was saying this is absolutely amazing. I said, yeah, there's no tannins. The tannins obviously come from the actual wood itself.
Yep.
That's where the high purity comes out, and she loves it now. So we kind of find all these cool little things that are happening, the feedback that's happening from people.
Yeah.
Purely is the process way that we're doing it, as opposed to just doing it as a big
Cutting corners and chucking everything.
Yeah.
Mass production happens. That's the thing. You found a more potent thing by stripping it.
That's it, but it is really labour intensive. And then we had one guy says, "Oh, so look, I can design machinery, and designing something to strip the leaves you can do." But then we found some of the coolest caterpillars, bugs, spiders, all these little things that live in here. And you go, "I've never actually seen a beetle that big with whatever it's doing." Like, hang on, so if we run this in a machine, you're going to lose. Oh, come little fella, and you just go, well, yeah.
You're more in touch.
You're really in touch.
Yeah, well, we found it in meditation / like little flow state. Just sitting here, we got music set up, and just strip leaves as we go along. It's so therapeutic.
Definitely. So I'm assuming it's Taylor Swift that you just run back to back, is it?
Hard techno, depending on how you get heavy metal going.
That's it. Pick up the pace. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, let's go have a look where it all begins.
Yeah, where these came from.
Let's find some trees.
Sounds good. Let's roll.
So when we cut them, they get cut roughly about 6 inches off from the ground, and from here they'll just regenerate.
Oh, beautiful.
And they just grow back up again. They're a bit quiet at the moment, but as you can move further down, you've got some of them that have already. These ones here actually were cut about a year ago, and you see how quickly they just start to grow back up again.
Oh, yeah. So they're a pretty hardy plant then.
They're amazingly hardy, and nature just knows what to do with them. You don't have to do anything extra. When we're inquiring about people saying, are you organic certified? I said, well, we really don't need to be organic certified. It's 100% organic. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
Fake eucalyptus.
It's just that's it. It's just what it does. Do you use any fertilizer? To do what?
Yeah, you have a look at it. It's a very rocky type soil, isn't it? So that just looks like it just grows in anything.
This is exactly where it's supposed to grow.
Australia worked it out.
Yeah. I don't have to do anything with it. That's just what it is. And if you want to know, this is a great one for you to generally do, even for people that are walking around just the streets. And you can actually do it in the city. If you ever see like a blue gum on one of the nature strips or anywhere around, if you want to know how much oil is actually in something, leaves, if you just close it off on your fingers a little bit that way, when you hold it up to the sunlight, you can see some little white dots that are in there. How bright the sun is. Those white dots are your oil content.
Okay.
And it's great now because if I go back into Melbourne, I pull it off and I'm like, that's
garbage.
That's not oil. I'll show you the real oil. So if you just grab a couple off by hand, just crush them up in your hand like that. and then you just smell, and then you actually smell it in there.
You can rub that over your
Yep.
forearms and your legs
Yep.
as well.
Yeah. Well, that's what you were talking about. How they would actually use that process as an instant
Yeah,
control.
yeah.
That's how they found it out, and they
Putting it on my
like
face.
the scanning process, and there they are.
Drive puppies. Oh, I see. Well, thanks for having us here today. It was fantastic and learn a lot too.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming up. It's been just been great showing you guys around and how we do what we do and how we fell into doing all this.
And how do people get your products?
Oh, that's really, really easy. The easiest place on the website is just blueyuki.com.au.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thanks a lot for having us. Now, I've got to ask you a big question. What does community mean to you, Richard?
What's community meant to me? Oh, working together for the common good and understanding each other. I can really go into depth into this one. I think we've lost one of personal addictions. Getting to know your neighbours, getting to know who knows, getting to enjoy each other's company, learning how to talk. Put that damn phone down, for goodness sakes, and actually just sit and just have a chat. Yeah, that to me is really what it's about, and working with each other, helping each other out as you need to.
Yeah.
But you don't have to live in each other's pockets. It's nice having a big enough land, but I can just call one of the neighbours and say, hey, Ray, I'm a bit stuck here. Can you come and give us a hand? And he'll drop what he's doing. You know, that to me is what it's about.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, again, thanks a lot for having us, Richard.
Thank
Jacob,
you.
pleasure to meet you guys.
Pleasure.
It's been
Thank you
amazing.
for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Lovely to meet you.
You too?
Enjoy the experience. It's a beautiful thing you're doing, and make sure you get over to that website and get some eucalyptus in you.
Go check us out.
Thanks very much.
Catch us later.